we got one of our guests in, one of the goats of New York City, one of our supporters of the Commissioner Corner. He called us the Beach Boys. My boy Zeke, what's up, baby? Welcome to the corner.
Good, appreciate you having me.
So, before we start though, you know what I mean? I gotta just pull up something real quick. You know what I mean? You know, gotta pull up something real quick. You know, we came to Coney Island. You know what I mean? And just, you know, we left with a little hardware. You know, nothing crazy, but you know, just had to show the hardware. You know what I mean?
Yo, Zeke, you gotta say something to that, man. I've been hitting all summer, bro.
We got two of them. It's cool, man.
You going first? You going first?
Yeah, Jerome, we're gonna get you back on.
All right, bet.
So, BG, take it away. I know how much you love and respect this young man right here.
Sure.
Just for me, as a fan, Zeke, I want to let you know I'm a big fan of you on off the court. A lot of people don't know, they should know that you do a lot for your community. You do a lot for the kids. You are a walking mentor. And I just want to make sure you understand how I respect you and feel about you and your craft, not only on the court, but off the court. A straight-up dude, man of not many words, but when he speaks and when he plays, you definitely know he was here. So I'm just happy to have you part of the show, brother. I know you've seen it from his essence, and it's only right to get you on episode 3 of our show. So I know BG got questions for you. Just want to show you my love and admiration for you.
Nah, for sure. Same here. You know,
I'm a little upset, man. I'm supposed to be one, but it's cool, man.
Nah, you understand that. But yo, Zeke, you already know, man. Joe, I ain't gonna go into it. I'll go into it afterwards, but the flowers. But
yes.
We'll talk a little bit about your high school career. One thing we want to get into is like, when did you feel like, what moment you would say in your high school career did you feel like you turned the corner and really like knew you was going to be one of the top players in the country? For me, it was at the Elite 24 game, which was a special moment. I mean, you did a lot of good in that game. But when did you think you turned the corner in your career in high school?
High school, I probably would say around going into junior year. Because my first year I was a freshman, but I had a lot of like Division I guys there, Shaquille Stokes, Kamari Murphy, Jordan Dickerson. So I had a lot of guys there that kind of already cemented their high school careers, and they were seniors, and I was a freshman. So I was starting as a freshman, but it was still like a team almost.
Right.
So, I think my sophomore year was the first year that I had a chance to show that I was actually good enough to hold up the Lincoln heritage and the Lincoln name. So, but when at Boys and Girls, I think it was like the 5th game of the season, I fractured my foot. So I was out from the 5th game of the season until we went to St. John's. So,
oh wow,
with St. John's, and we ended up losing the Boys and Girls. And it was kind of frustrating knowing that I really didn't get a chance to really show what I could do, you know? So I think that hurt me in the rankings and stuff like that, because in 8th grade going into 9th grade, I was high in the rankings. But my first 2 years of high school, like a lot of other guys got a lot of bigger opportunities. So they kind of like surpassed me in the rankings and things like that. So I think going into my junior year, I really was like, all right, this is the time I need to separate myself and show people that basically how good I am.
Take it away, Joe.
Yes, sir. Zeke, I know you, I mean, shit, you accomplished a lot, but you also play for a great high school coach in Tiny Morton. I know how much he means to you. I know how much he's embedded in culture and basketball, how much he's allowed players like you to kind of flourish in your own style. Can you talk about what it was to play under Tiny, and what did you learn most about from him heading into, getting into your college, recruitment and into Seton Hall? So what was the most important thing he taught you?
I think he just instilled that confidence. I mean, I think me being like junior high school, I really wasn't anybody. Like I really wasn't a big name until 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade.
Right.
So he kind of took it slow with me, so to say. Like if you compare it to Sebastian and Lance and guys like that, they kind of established those names very young.
Right.
So it was like they needed to accelerate fast.
Right.
So with him, it was just hey, look, the end goal is this, but it's not a sprint. Like we're gonna get to it, but at the same time, you gotta make sure everything is going the right way and make sure everything is set up how it needs to be for you to get to your goals. So I think he taught me just patience and just be confident wherever you are.
Right.
And things like that when I'm not with him.
Right.
But it was kind of like a love-hate relationship, which is good.
Right.
You never want to feel too obligated, but at the same time, you really want a coach that's going to be hard on you, that's going to teach you. So I think he helped me with that.
So with that being said, Zeke, the mutual respect for you and Tiny, was there ever a situation coming into that stature in Lincoln? Was there ever any pressure on you, or maybe a pressure for yourself you put on yourself to, not follow, but kind of lead Lincoln in what Sebastian and Marbury did so well? Was there any pressure for you to take that torch and run with it, or was it bestowed upon you in terms of how Tiny trusted you with the offense and with that school?
I mean, it wasn't really any pressure because people never really expected me to be that guy. So I really didn't have a lot of hype, to say, like in junior high school and things like that. I mean, my hype began in 8th grade. It happened really fast. So like, I went to nationals. We finished, I think, number 3 in the country. We lost in the Final 4 of nationals, and that's when my game started to progress a lot on a national scale.
Nice.
I was known in New York, but it really wasn't like, okay, he's the guy. Like it was like always up to if this guy has me ranked here, this guy has me ranked here. Like it's never really who was the guy, and this is who we're gonna promote. So I think I never really felt pressure because I was always like 3rd in line, 4th in line. Like you had guys that automatically got that stardom, which was like Ethan Telfair,
right?
Chuck Floods. You had a lot of guys that kind of made a name for themselves before. So I think once I got to Lincoln and everybody saw, that's when it started to be like, okay, now, like I would never forget the day before I stepped foot in Lincoln as a student, I was on the back of the New York Post, like on a cover. So it was like, all right, now this is it. Like it's no. So,
this is it. Yeah.
Yeah. So as a rising 9th grader to be on the back of the Post, it was like, it was shocking to me. Like I didn't know it was happening so fast. Everything was happening quick. So I think pressure really never set in until probably like freshman, sophomore year.
Gotcha. Yeah, B.
So I mean, stellar college career. Your first year you got hurt at Seton Hall, which I know you was disappointed, in that. But your second year, you guys go on to win the Big East tournament, and you know how special New York players put on for the Big East tournament, and you had probably one of the biggest runs for me outside of maybe Kemba. Talk a little bit about like that experience, like playing in the Big East tournament in front of your, your family, your friends, and then just talk about winning the championship and like putting not only Seton Hall but the tri-state area on your back, because everybody felt like you could have went to any school you wanted to, but you stood home, and to win a Big East championship in your hometown in Madison Square Garden. Like, talk about that experience.
It was great. I mean, it kind of summarized why we went there. Like we wanted to go there to change the culture. We wanted to go there to be close to home. We wanted to go there to basically prove everybody wrong. Like we that was our main goal. Like going into our sophomore year, like I think it's like 12 teams in the Big East. They had us preseason 10th.
Yeah.
So that was like a slap in the face for us. So when we saw that kind of gave us extra motivation, and it gave us a lot of edge to really want to win. So then I guess when towards the middle of the season, when we finally started putting everything together and knowing who we were as a team, I mean, I think we lost like 2 games in the last 3 months of the season. So
sheesh.
Like we were rolling. So I knew if we got the right teams, like if we knocked out the big teams first and got to the championship and had to play a Villanova or Xavier, and they gave us a chance, that we was gonna have a chance. And I mean that's basically what happened. We were just hungrier than everybody. We just wanted it more. Like we had so much more to prove than the big ranked teams. And we played Xavier. They were like 3rd in the country. We beat them by like 17. Yep. Then we played Villanova in the championship, which was the biggest crowd that I've ever played in front of at that level. It was probably like 30,000 people in Madison Square Garden, sold out.
How'd you feel, Zeke? How'd you feel in that moment? How'd you feel? Was it surreal? Or was it nerve-wracking? Because I don't know if I could play in front of 30,000 people, bro. I'm just going to keep it real with you.
Because the thing is, Joe, like, you got to look at it. We're playing Villanova. They're number 1 in the country. If we lose by 20, we're supposed to.
Right.
If we beat them, we shock the world.
True indeed.
So we went out there, bro, like, we don't got nothing to lose. Like, let's go out here, hoop, play how we play, and we live with the results. And that's what we did.
I remember that year. I think I remember that year you was on a I don't know, like a 10-game killing spree. Like you put the, I don't want to shoot my language, man. You put the fucking book bag on. I mean, I remember Desi wanting the ball in the wing. You was like, nah, fam, this is going up right here. Cash. And it might have been the Big East. It might have been the tournament. I don't remember. I knew that. I think it was your sophomore year. You might have got into a more confident stage, and when you felt like that team was yours. Was it ever bestowed upon you, or you just say, you know, it's time for me to go back in my Lincoln days and take over the city? Like, this is what you do.
I think my whole career, I was always the nice guy and make shots first and play team ball. And then after a while, I was just like, look, man, like, we tried that before. You know, like, we tried to be that guy. We tried to have 10 assists. We tried to get everybody involved. I was just like, look, and Kevin Willard, props to him, he came to me, he said, look, we got here with you. Like, and we gonna ride out with you. Like if you miss a shot, shoot again. Like, it ain't no like, and once a coach tells a player that, I think it gives him a different kind of confidence to go out there and just win the game. Right. And he gave me the keys to. I mean, I just ran with him.
I have an interesting question for you. I know you chose Seton Hall as your college to play basketball at and continue your education. Was there any other school besides Seton Hall that was on your mind or close to saying, I'm going to go here? And if so, what school was that?
You know, the crazy thing was, I was a sophomore going into my junior year, and I wanted to commit to Syracuse. Wow. And I said, look, I'm ready to commit. If you're ready to give me a scholarship, let's do it. They told me no. They said, no, we signed someone at your position, and like, he was ranked higher than me and everything. So his name was Caleb Joseph. He went there.
I remember Caleb.
Yeah, he went. He was, I think I was like 49th in the country. He was like 29th, 31st or something like that.
Right.
So we picked him. So then around junior year, that's when Seton Hall started calling. And you know me, I had like a lot of big time offers like Kentucky, Kansas, things like that. So
don't be so really modest. I know there's more than that, Zeke. No, I know there's more than that, Zeke. Don't be so modest. This is your time. Please let us know, because I wasn't in those recruiting sessions where anybody know what you get recruited from. My guests are asking me right now, what school? How many schools? How do you go about it? So, I mean, just share some knowledge with us.
if I'm thinking now, I had an offer from Kentucky, Kansas, UCLA, Louisville,
sheesh,
St. John's, of course.
Amazing.
It was Oklahoma, Gonzaga. It was, I mean, Michigan State.
tough.
It was
Tough.
a lot of schools.
Dope.
But I think Seton Hall kind of was me because, you know, I'm a family oriented guy. I like to be close to home, and I would be going to school with my brother. So that was the easiest decision when that time came. So
Facts.
and I would like to put on record, like, a lot of people think that all those guys follow me. I was the last person to commit.
Yep.
So I mean, I basically listened to them. I took a visit, small school, close to home, not really a lot of distractions.
Right.
It felt like a perfect place.
Dope.
Nice.
Yeah, B.
Nice. So, you know, we talked about the college. We talk about being drafted. You was drafted 42nd overall by Utah, and then got traded to the Brooklyn Nets. Where you from? Your home. First, before you talk about getting drafted, I want you to talk about this. I don't think there's 42 players, at least guard-wise, that was better than you.
No.
And a lot of the guards that got drafted in front of you, you killed. Talk a little bit first about how you felt about that process, and then give us a little insight of how it felt to be drafted and play for your home team, the Brooklyn Nets.
I mean, when you think of that, I mean, it's a lot of guys that are picked before they're picked. Let's just say, like, they from senior year of high school, you know, all right, he's going to be top 10, which is crazy to me. At the same time, you just got to take your blessings. I mean, it's blessing to be called anyway.
Right.
A lot of guys that probably was supposed to be or probably were actually better than me that didn't get called.
Right.
So you got to look at it from both ways. So, I mean, I was blessed to be called. And then to go to Brooklyn, it was even more of a blessing because, I mean, I'm home. Like I said, I love being home. I love being around my family and my friends. The dopest thing, though, was when they revealed my jersey, it was actually in Coney Island. So that was fire. That was probably the dopest part.
And you had the highest selling jersey from the Brooklyn on the Brooklyn Nets, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, my rookie year, yeah.
Wow.
So B, I know you have other questions, but I think you missed out a lot of accolades this guy got. So let me. Let me go back. Okay, 2014, Mr. New York basketball winner. Okay, he's one of the former players that has that title, which is Lance in 2009 and Telfair in 2004. So Zeke is a Mr. Basketball. He is a Big East All-Rookie team in 2015. A McDonald's All-American 2014. And this is a guy that said that in my junior year, I was getting there and I was getting my feet wet, and he's a McDonald's All-American, okay? Not many people could say they have the fries and the burger, right? And then you became a Big East champion and the Big East most outstanding player in 2016. You being humble, you always show love. How was it to be on the highest platform on those levels and saying, I'm Mr. Basketball, I'm a Big East champion, and I'm a most outstanding player?
I think my mom always, always not reality. So, I mean, she'll be happy, she'll be very excited, but then she was like, look, I mean, that's not your goal. I mean, your goal wasn't to go to college to be an outstanding player. Like, your goal was to make it to the NBA. So this is what we're going to focus on. So, I mean, those accolades were great, but I mean, I just felt like they were just steps. Like, they were steps I had to go up.
Right.
So, I mean, there were steps that I had to reach to get to where I wanted to go. So it was kind of like a checklist. It wasn't like a we made it. So, I mean, that's probably why, like, a lot of guys look at me and they would say, oh, he just won the most outstanding player. Why is he just standing there? It was just because I expected that from myself. So it wasn't like a surprise to me. Like it was like this is what you need to do to go where you want to go. So it wasn't like it was more of like I have a list of things to get to where I want to go. All right, we got here, now what's next? So it wasn't really like never sit down and celebrate and things like that.
Amazing.
Yeah, B, you got it.
So I want to not sidetrack, but I want to talk a little bit about your day, right? Isaiah Whitehead day. Even from your, I don't quote me if I'm wrong, but from your rookie season, I think even when you was at Seton Hall, I think you was doing the Isaiah Whitehead day, if I'm not wrong. But you were one of the first players that I know to do a day and then bring a hardwood court outside in Coney Island. Come on, man. Like, not too many people doing that. You know what I mean? Talk a little bit about, like, was that something that you wanted to do for Coney Island? And how did that come about? And how did you feel being able to throw that game in your hometown and give your community an atmosphere like that? Like, that was crazy.
I mean, I always look back to when I was in Elite 24 and they had the hardwood court outside and it was a nice view.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I always was like, yo, what if this was in Coney Island? Like, what if I could put a court outside and the kids, like an Elite 24 type atmosphere, looking out the window from your house. So that was like the goal. Like the goal was to kind of bring a atmosphere, like you said, to Coney Island that they won't forget. So, and I think me and my team, we put it together. It was hard, but I mean, we got it to work. Thank God it didn't rain that day. But yeah, it was a lot of work, and I think it was a pretty big success because we had some great players come out, free food, free haircuts, bouncy houses. I mean, you had essential water out there. It was a dope day. So I mean, and it still continues to be. I mean, we just did a day this summer. It was a small day compared to what we usually do, but it was something. Like people needed something to look back on this summer. So that was our goal.
So I'm gonna tell you my moment when you were standing in front of 30,000 people. I remember that. I remember you brought up that hardwood court because I remember it was on the weekend of Hoops in the Sun, and I'm like, damn, this nigga Zay, man, how you gonna do this on this weekend? And all the kids that played my tournament respectfully like, nah, Joe, I love you. It's hot as hell out here, but I'm gonna go to BK and I'm gonna support Whitehead Day, and now not from that point on, I just knew that your mission in basketball was similar missions that me and BG share in terms of changing lives, supporting kids, and you do it big, man. Yeah, I commend you, man. Like you do it big. So, and then this year during COVID, you brought back streetball life, energy, and then working with BG and all the partners you mentioned. I mean, now that you're on that side now with us, I know you have a great team around you. Is it still hard to perform even in your hometown with all the expectations and pressure that now is expected from you to put on this annual event?
I wouldn't say it's hard because I mean, even if we weren't looked at that way, we still would do it. I mean, it's not like an accolades thing. Like we're not doing it to be the best day out of the summer. Yep. We're doing it because Coney Island has no tournaments. They have no camps. They have no. It's just they're outside playing basketball. So why not bring a day? Why not bring a day to where you can enjoy everything that you could think of for the summer in one day for free? So that's our.
And that's for free. And that's for free. Everybody, that's for free. He does it from the bottom of his heart with his own money, his own pockets, and support. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that's a free event. Sorry, Zay. Yeah,
but I think a lot of people they don't know that Isaiah Whitehead, they started my sophomore year of going into my sophomore year of college.
Crazy.
We just had a regular barbecue. We just told the whole community, "Hey, you hungry? Come eat." So that's how it started. Yeah. And then, of course, as I made some money and put more money into it, that's how it's going to be what it is.
So before I ask my next question, I give it to BG. We have a lot of fans that love you and support you. Somebody just sent me a picture of their son's memorable moment with you. So I just want to show you on my phone. This is the kind of stuff that you do, the kind of stuff that you impact kids, you impact communities from all parts of the world. So just want to show you people that showing me pictures of you just showing love to kids and giving back. And I just wanted to shout out my man Ran by Kids. His son is right here. He said that I wanted to make sure that Zay sees the picture that I had when my son was like at least 3 or 4 years ago. So with that being said, Zay, you must have had role models, people that you looked up to, people that you followed, people that you took a lot of wisdom from. I know I did with my father. Can you share with us who those people were in terms of your mentors and people that supported you to the person you are now?
I think my mentors probably be Jermaine Brown, my old coach. He basically told me I was in 7th grade. And, he basically said, "Look, you're going to the NBA. Yep. Like that's like it's nothing else. Like you have the skills, you just need to put your mind to it, and things like that." I think my mom for just making me into the person I am today, just the giving, just the respectable guy. I mean, a lot of people. And that's like what she commends me on the most. Like, and she tells me almost every day, like,
right.
It's a pleasure to walk around and for adults to say how great you are and that they never heard of you disrespecting anyone. Like that's like a big thing in my house. Like we respect adults. Like we respect adults to the point where you have like you have the power. Like. How can we help you? And that's just how we grew up. Like my grandmother taught me that, my mother taught me that. And I mean, it just stuck with me. So I'm just trying to teach my kids. We're having a little trouble, but we're going to get there.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah, BG.
Nah, I mean, I'll definitely add to that. That's Zeke, man. Like he's a person that he puts everybody before himself, you know. And I think that's the biggest thing that attached me to him. By just watching him, you know, he never asks for nothing, you know what I mean? And he takes care of so many people respectfully, and he enjoys it. You know, there's a lot of people that do things and they do it out of pity or they do it out of just, you know, because they have to, but he does it with a heart, you know, because he wants to.
For sure.
That's the biggest thing I respect about Zeke, man. Talk a little bit, we're going to speed up before we go to the rapid fire. Talk a little bit about internationally, playing overseas. This year you're having a stellar season in the Euro Cup. Talk a little bit about the transition and talk a little bit about the difference between the FIBA game and the NBA game.
I mean, European living is tough. I mean, if I was to be telling the truth, like it's not a place for the weak, man. Like
you just
you're alone. I mean, it's not. You could have a couple people come out here and there, but 90% of the time you're by yourself. I mean, that's hard. So first time and things like that. So I mean, international living is tough. I mean, you don't always like the food, but you have to eat. I mean, it's a lot that goes into it, and it's definitely for the strong-minded. As far as like the season going, I mean, we're doing great. I mean, everything is falling into the place that we wanted it to, and hopefully we keep up the good play. And I mean, that's always the main goal. I mean, to win. I mean, to have fun also, but that's the main goal, to win. And then what was your last question, DJ?
What would you say is the biggest difference between the NBA game and the FIBA game for you, your play?
I mean, the biggest difference is the NBA is the NBA and FIBA is the college game. I mean, you got to go back to college. I mean, there's no defensive 2 seconds, no certain rules and things like that. It's my most comparable would be to college. I mean, it's just some teams play zone, some teams play man. I mean, it's a much more strategic game than the NBA. I mean, NBA is just like, to me, you're a great player, take the ball and make great plays. Right. I mean, out here you gotta really think the game. You gotta really find your spots. You gotta really be in tip-top shape because it's a very, very fast game. Even if it looks slow, is every like the European way is to cut fast, to backdoor, to rip through fast. So you gotta be constantly paying attention at all times. And honestly, I didn't really start getting the hang of it until this year. Because when you're programmed for 2 years to play at an NBA level, and then you go back to trying to do college, I mean, it's always going to be tough. So tough. I think this year has kind of really started slowing down for me. And one thing I did that a lot of people probably won't believe is, to get ready for this season, I watched a lot of college tape. Watching any professional tape. I watched a lot of college tape because that's how similar the game is. Like that's how close it is to college.
Zay, when you say that, I'm sorry, you meant you watch college tape in general, or your old footage of yourself playing in the college game?
Of the college game, just to see how I scored, how I assisted. And things like that, like, because it's real similar. So
got you. I know we got rapid fire coming up. I know we got a bunch of questions we're gonna throw at you, but I got one more. I got a question from my panel. You recently became a father. Somebody wanted to ask you, how is life being a father now and a dad?
Sir,
it's great. I mean, it gives you an extra motivation. It gives you something to live for. And like I said before, it makes you keep up those good habits, because your kids are always going to do what you do. Like, what they hear about you doing, they're going to do. So, I mean, that's basically that. And, I mean, as far as, like, that's another thing about international, too. I mean, you don't see your kids as often. It's tough.
Yeah.
And I think when I'm home and when I'm actually around her, it makes that time even more special.
So, last question, I promise you, B. I promise you.
It's our boy.
Everybody mentions when they say, "Yo, I'm outside," and we don't see nobody outside. But the one person I see outside every summer is Zay. Zay, you a big street ball fan, whether you like it or not. In terms of the locations, can you let us know your joy in street ball, and does it help your game in the off season in terms of either playing at the college level or in the NBA level? Because you played in these respective tournaments in both, going into both levels. Is there a benefit playing street ball for you? And if so, what is that? And recently you played with Lance at LES, your boy, your partner. And how was it playing together with him on the street ball circuit?
Does it benefit me? I think me personally, I play street ball more for my people. Like, I feel like my people should be able to touch it, should be able to see me. It shouldn't have to go on Instagram to watch a video of me working out. Like, I should be there. Like,
salute, yes.
I should be in the park playing, even if you don't like me. Like, I should still. I need to hear that. I need to hear the critics. I need to hear the love. I need like street ball is like no other. You get one time a year to play it. So, I mean, why not do it? Right. I mean, I've always played it. I always played unlimited since probably like 18, 19. So, I mean, it's like it became a part of me. Like, it became an annual thing. Right. So it's kind of like hard to stay away from.
And how was it playing with Lance? Yeah, how was it playing with Lance?
With Lance, I mean, with Lance, it's always great to play with Lance. I mean, he's a great player. He's one of my role models growing up. I mean, I learned a lot from him, and and we always joke about it, but I learned a lot of what not to do from him. He commends me for that. He tells me almost every day like how proud he is of me and just keep working and things like that. And sometimes you need that. You need to hear that from an older guy, and you need to hear that from an older brother. So I mean, going into the summer with him was great. I mean, but I actually love playing against him in hoops in the sun. So I've beat him in hoops in the sun. So I'm one up on him right now.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, my brother. That was a chip year for you too. I didn't forget that. That's your chip year. But listen, I appreciate you. You know that. I love watching your game when you come to the park, and every park that I see you. The kids' expression and the way they gravitate to you and the way you're humble is just a great sight. And I just want to let you know that we appreciate you as well, and want to give you a flowers before anybody else does. And we're going to hit you with some rapid-fire questions. So I'll let BG start off because he got something for you. Yeah.
Oh, man. First rapid-fire question,
Let's go. You're in the corner now, Zay. You're in the corner. Let's go.
So would you let your girl have a OnlyFans page?
Absolutely not.
I got one. You ready? What is your favorite hip hop album?
Joe, we got to ask him why he wouldn't.
Okay, I'll go. Yeah.
I mean, if she need a little extra change, I can give it to her. You don't need to be showing your body off.
That's a fact.
Come on, man. You know, it ain't that far. It ain't that deep.
All right, so then I'll ask a different question. If you any celebrity female of choice, who would it be? Respectfully.
Any female, French tries to go. My girl.
Okay.
Fact.
That was a great answer.
Siggy!
They trying to get you. Right?
Go ahead, BG.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a question. This a lot of people don't know, but Zeke is a sneaky sneakerhead, man. Got a lot of feats, and I think he might have 10 pair of kicks in his trunk. But favorite sneaker all time for you?
Jordan 1 for sure, classic. Any Jordan 1.
Tough.
I mean, you can't go wrong with it. You can wear it with a suit or with shorts. I mean, it just goes with everything.
That's a fact.
Zay, favorite hip hop album or rap album for you all time?
In my era,
Yes, sir.
I would say that hit me the most and changed my mindset was probably 444. Album. I mean, that was the first album I feel like in my era that could possibly change the era. You know, it could change the mental of how all us younger guys think. So I mean that one definitely hit home. I still listen to it to this day.
Got you. Yeah, B.
All right, so we got I think one more, right? So favorite movie of all time.
Favorite movie, Through the Fire, man. Come on.
Only.
I got
Through
one.
the Fire.
Toughest competitor on the court you played against.
At any level?
We'll do whatever. Yeah, any level. If you want to stay NBA or college, that's respectful. Let's do that.
Probably competitive-wise, probably Russell Westbrook. This is motor. He's nonstop. You got to get some sleep the night before. Let's just say that, because he's gonna go the whole game nonstop and compete at the highest level.
Facts. Yo, Zeke, man, we appreciate you, bro. You already know the bond we got, man. Shout out to the Isaiah Whitehead Academy that we got going on. We're about to start in November. But we just appreciate you being on the show. And what you do for New York City. I mean, for me, you're the king of New York City as far as terms of players that come back, that give back, and that show people the way. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are not giving the kids the examples of how to be not only a basketball player, but a man. You know what I'm saying? So I have the ultimate respect for you, man. It's an honor to work with you daily. You know, the work we put in. And, you know, just glad you was able to tap in. People don't even know what time it is over there right now where you at. So just to have you on the show and to sacrifice some sleep, I appreciate you, man, and I'm thankful. And you know, anything I could do, man, I'm here.
Hey, Zay, the same thing for me. You know, I love you to death. Any way that we can help our platform with yours in any way possible, I always told you that offline. I'm here for you. I'm one call away. And just to let everybody know that Zay was one of our biggest supporters on the Commissioner's podcast.
Yeah.
And I want to just let him know that your energy has allowed us to put this into fruition. So I thank you for your support, and always mad love on this side, man. So I appreciate you having you on tonight and sharing some time with us.
Appreciate it, man. I just want to say, man, it's two people that I hate in the world, man. It's too many people I hate in the world, man. That's BG and Brian, man. That's all I got.
He got you, B. I'm good now. I'm still good on this side. I'm still good.
Yeah, you gonna give me every time, bro.
It's two people, man.
Just tell them who the best trainer in New York is, man. Just tell them who the best trainer is.
Two people, man. You said what?
Just tell them who the best trainer in New York City is, man.
Come on, man. You know who that is. Isaiah Whitehead, man.
You ain't getting off tonight, B. You not doing
it. Get this guy on this show, man. Yo, Zeke, love, bro.
Love you, Zay. Appreciate you, man. Good luck overseas and be safe and well, all right?
Appreciate it.
God bless you.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, man. That was dope. That was dope, man. Episode 3, that was dope. I'm not sure if we're going to get Mr. Lamb on, but...
He's not on yet?
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, he's not on yet, but what was your feeling on getting the opportunity to chop it up with one of the best guards in New York City, man? I mean, you trained him. That's your boy. Like, you know, what was it being on this side of the table and interviewing one of your friends?
I mean, it's normal. You know, this is a family affair. You know what I'm saying? You know, I spend almost every day with Zeke, you know. If we're not working out, if we're not training, then we be doing business ventures, and we spend the time with the family. And I tell people, like, you know, the best people you can do business with is your family, you know. And that's a guy that he's somebody that he's a man of his word. He's honorable. You know, I think a lot of people, and we talked about, you know, voting and, you know, politics and all these things, but people are not honorable. And that's the one dude that if he says he got you, he got you. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest accolade you can give somebody, is somebody that honors what they're gonna say they're gonna do. And you know, for me and him, man, like I said, I've known Zeke, but this last year and a half of really being around him, it's been probably one of the best friendships and relationships and brotherhoods that I created.
That's dope. I have a couple of people I want to shout out. I want to shout out NutriZone TV. I want to shout out Ran by Kids. I want to shout out my homegirl Kiki on the check-in. Much love to you, girl. I appreciate all the fans tuning in. It is definitely a humbling experience to see the interaction with our fans, man. The people that we impact, the people that we know, the people that support us from afar, across the water, and even in our own state. It's truly amazing. I only can imagine who else is watching on our platform, but I just want to salute those. And also Kevin Davis said good evening, guys. So we got some loyal fans that really tune in. Kev Davis. So yeah, man, for me, my experience with Zay, you know, I mean, again, we know Zay is short-worded, but I think tonight was an opportunity to really get to know him on a different level. You could tell how much he matured and, you know, so many different ways, you know, on off the court. Not saying he was not mature, but just, you know, way he carried himself. You know, he spoke very well about his high school career. I mean, he spoke very well about his college career, and he was really humble about his NBA career. And him being a father, you know, kind of really put the, you know, cherry on top in terms of who we are as men and who we are as providers. And what I learned about him is that he is one of the most humble dudes that you can ever come across, especially a person of his magnitude that accomplished a lot in his life, and he's still young and accomplishing more. So just to have his time and have his presence here today on the Commissioner Corner podcast is truly a dope experience. So I want to salute him on that and salute you for setting it up.
Of course, that's family, man. We're gonna get more family on here. Hopefully, we're gonna give Deron a couple more minutes. Hopefully, he could get tuned in.
Right.
But yeah, it's dope, man. Especially seeing people from our own city win. When we come from New York City, you know, we have this bad tag that everybody's crabs in a barrel, and you know, people only care about themselves and only want to look out for themselves. But when you got people like that are willing to put other people on, it's a beauty to see, and it needs to be more energy like that in New York. So that's what we're trying to do in the Commissioner's Corner, with us two and our perspective fields with which we do coming together. We're just trying to show people that unity still wins. You know, I think, you know, people think that independency is the way to go, but having a team, having people in your corner, you can't go wrong.
I feel the same way, man. So truly, after the election, to have the person in terms of Zay to come on and speak to us and speak to our fans is truly a blessing. And I'm glad that we can able to share those moments with our community and our fans. And I'm looking forward to next week. We got a couple of surprises next week, so I don't really want to give it away. If you want to close out the show, let's close it out with anything else you want to talk about, and then we can close up shop. Not sure if Deron's coming on, so
I'm heading Deron right now. Let me just see what he's gonna come on. We're gonna do this live, and if he can't, then we'll respectfully close the show.
Cool.
But definitely was a pleasure to have Isaiah on.
Yep.
And we apologize to Deron. I know he has some technical difficulties. And we'll make sure that we get him back on here when the time is right. You know, the hour's getting late.
But we gotta play that track. We gotta play that track from Wifey. We gotta get that on.
Oh man, yeah, we gotta get that on.
We gotta get. Let's do it. I mean, we got time
right now in New York City. Salute the big time Funk Master Flex for dropping the record, man. She's been on rotation for the last 3 weeks, so want to give her kudos. We appreciate her for the grind that she's doing, and next week, you know, we'll air the song next week.
Okay.
I'll get Randy to cue it up so we could do it real nice and professional.
Got you. All right. Well, listen, everybody.
Make sure you stream Sig the Trig on all music platforms.
Got you. On that note, everybody, I appreciate you all tuning in to the episode 3 of the Commissioner Corners podcast here on the Cruise Control Podcast Network, powered by Red Bull. BG, I got mad love for you. I appreciate you being here. Welcome back. We had to work out a few kinks today, but we'll get back to that grind. Everybody, only episode 3, and we're doing this live, and you know, bring it to you the way we bring it to you. So we want to be authentic. So we appreciate your patience and understanding that we are still getting this platform together. So salute to everybody that tuned in. Shout out to Isaiah Whitehead. Deron Lamb, we're going to get him back on. I promise you that, because we don't do any false advertisements here on our podcast. So BG, absolute pleasure, my brother. You have a wonderful night, and close it out.
Yes, it's your boy BG, Mr. Elliot's Express, one half of the Commissioner Corner, presented by Red Bull.
And this is your co-host, Joe Cruz Jr., the other half of the Commissioner Corner podcast here on the Cruise Control Podcast Network. On that note, on episode 3, we out. Have a great night. God bless.
God bless.
Salute.